Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Unplugged and Unfiltered. Today, I'm going to be talking to Caroline Romano. She is super great. She makes some music in Nashville, and we're just going to get right into it. So, I hope you guys enjoy the episode.
All right. Hello. Welcome to the podcast. My name's Jessica McKee. It is so nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me. Oh my gosh. Yes. My name's Caroline Romano, and I'm stoked to be here today.
Yeah.
Um, I was asked where are you based?
Yeah. So I live in Michigan.
Oh, cool. Okay. Is it
Yeah.
cold there? Because I'm in Nashville and it's freezing here.
It's cold. It's -13 right now.
Okay, I should stop talking. It's not even halfway that cold here, so that's
I don't
crazy.
know if that's the actual temperature, but my weather app said it feels like -13.
That's all that matters at the end of the day is what it feels like.
Right.
So, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm super stoked to have you here. Do you want to just do a little spiel about yourself to get started?
Yeah, so my name's Caroline Romano. I'm a pop artist based in Nashville, Tennessee. I started coming to Nashville when I was about 13 because I knew I wanted to do music and be involved in that. And I just kept coming back to the city and writing, and things progressed from there. Had a song on the radio, went on some tours, and just been blessed to be able to keep making music. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I love Nashville so much.
It's great. Have you visited?
It's
You visit a lot?
Um, the first time that I went there, I don't know if you're familiar with the wildlife.
Yes, I
Um,
opened for the Wildlife a couple years ago at a New
wait,
Year's
no.
show. Yeah.
Oh, like the Zoo Year's Eve thing?
Yes. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh, I wanted to go to that so bad.
It was
I
a good
couldn't.
time. It was a good time.
But yeah, so I went to their one night only at the end
Oh,
in
sick.
Nashville
Nice.
this last summer. So that was the first time I've ever been there.
Heck yeah.
Um, and
That's
I'm
dope.
going back for spring break.
Let's
So
go.
so
Let's go.
excited.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Heck
it's
yeah, dude.
awesome.
Nashville's great. I love it here.
Yeah, no, I wish I could move there. Kind of
Come
keeps
on
telling
down.
me to like, she's like, come on, let's go. Like, can
Come
your
on down.
podcast blow up so you can move down
There we
here?
go. Yeah. Just podcast blow up and then yeah, easy.
Yeah,
Go
and
happy.
then we're
Yeah.
switching states.
There we go.
All right, awesome. So thanks for doing that and letting us get to know you a bit. I think
Of
we're
course.
ready to get into the questions.
I'm ready. Bring them on.
Okay, awesome. So, uh, for the people that don't know you, I know you just did your little introduction, but from an artist standpoint, how would you describe your music?
I would describe my music as organic pop, alternative leaning sonically with a very like stream of consciousness diary style writing over it. So I guess super pop melodies, but just kind of frenetic writing in some ways.
Yeah, I was listening to some of the recommendations that you had sent me before this, and you very much so remind me of like if the way that Charlie XCX writes,
A
but like popified without like the reverb, if
without
that
the
makes
British
sense.
reverb. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. 100%. No, thank you. I love Charlie. So that means a
Yeah,
lot.
no, I was like, that's like the first thing I thought of. I'm like, yes, I
Heck
love
yeah.
this.
You love
So
Charlie.
yeah, that's super awesome. So you said you started, coming around Nashville when you were pretty young, moved there when you were 17. But at what point did you realize that you wanted to pursue music as like a full-time career?
I remember because I had seen the backstory of as to why I wanted to come to Nashville for my 13th birthday was because I watched Taylor Swift's Journey to Fearless documentary, and I was like, easy, you go to Nashville, and that's all it takes. Um, so I came with my acoustic guitar and my parents and like my five songs that weren't that great, and I was just playing like college bars. But I remember the first bar I played, which I should not have been allowed to play, but besides the point.
Hey.
Hey, um, I remember singing these songs and like the first time seeing people react back to my music and listen and just that feeling of I feel like I'm a very shy and introverted person, particularly at that point in my life. And it was the first time I was like, okay, this right now feels like me. Like I've never felt more like myself. And from that moment, that's just kind of when I knew like I want to do this, whatever it takes, kind of thing.
That's honestly so beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have been in a bar at 13, but you got your foot in the door,
What can
and
we
that's all
do?
that
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
Done and
So
over with.
Yeah,
Just
my parents were there. It's fine. It was fine.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, no, that's so awesome. I love that. Um, so since you started pursuing music as a career, what do you feel is your biggest, you would say, career win? And how would your younger self feel about it if you could go back in time and tell them?
I feel like there are two like separate moments where I was like, I wish little me could see this right now. And the first one was probably when I had a song on the radio that charted on Billboard for the first time. I remember like seeing that stat come through and like being able to turn on the radio and hear my song. And that was really, really cool. And then the one that I think is a little bit more precious to me is the first time I went on tour and just having people in the front row like sing the words back to me to my songs like across the country. That was so surreal, and I definitely think that would have been a cool thing for younger me to foresee.
Yeah, I feel like those are two very like almost like I've made it experiences in a way.
Yeah,
So like hearing your song on the radio, first of all, would be insane. I feel like that first time, like that's such like a euphoric feeling, I would
definitely.
assume. And then especially like as an opener, one thing like I've been to a lot of concerts,
Yeah,
and one thing that the openers really seem to be a little bit more reserved in the sense that like they know that they're coming in and people aren't really gonna know
there for
their
that. Yeah,
music,
100%.
so it's kind of just like it's a little awkward always, I feel like,
Yeah,
but you definitely can always see them connect with the people that do.
yeah,
And I think that
100%.
that's always so great. Like when I went to see the Wildlife when they opened for Knox,
Yeah,
that was super cool because I'm like, okay, I'm seeing two artists that I absolutely love, and I'm in the front like dancing with
yeah,
Jansen,
that's
and it
awesome.
was super cool because like and it's also like a great way to get yourself out there because I had people at that show. It's like you love them that much, and I'm like, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So it's also a really good way to like almost like word of mouth, but you're there. Like have
exactly.
your fans vouch for you and be like, yeah, she's awesome. Go listen to her stuff.
It truly, I think there's no better, like with all of the marketing tactics that there are now and all the ways you can get your music heard, I'm still a firm believer that like just playing live shows, even if you are the opener, like being the opener is very nerve-wracking, like you said, but I think it's by far like the most rewarding. So I'll always recommend that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that for sure. So you've released quite a few songs. I've listened to almost all of them.
Oh,
They're very good, by the way.
thank you. I appreciate some of them
I
are old, and I was a child, so ignore those. But you know.
It's okay. I really like that. So, but of all your songs, what's the story behind the favorite one that you've released?
This is a hard question because all of your songs are like your babies or some pivotal point in your life that you had to write about this for the most part. But I always do really go back to the story of Girl in a China Shop because I was like going through it. I was like, I'm a wreck. I don't know. I don't even know how I can be, a person anymore. And I had that idea, and I was like, A, this idea is dumb, and no one's gonna like it. And B, I brought it into this write I was in, and everyone was like, yeah, I mean that's cool, and we wrote it. But then it just really connected when I released it, and to this day, it's one of my most, songs that does the best and connects with people the most, and it's at the live show for sure, like the one that I think is the crowd favorite. And I think that has taught me to trust my feelings, the initial like, okay, I want to write this down, but also past a certain point, just let the feelings do the talking, stop over analyzing everything in my music and how I write it. And so that's been a fun story for me.
Yeah, no, I when I was listening to that song, the first thing I think of that like I can see how you say that it really resonates with people in the sense because it's like it's almost like when you know you're not doing the greatest,
Mm-hmm.
but you're still trying to almost like in a way be performative for everybody else and be like,
Yeah,
no, I'm doing perfectly fine. So you're like stepping on all of these eggshells and you
yeah,
constantly feel like you're messing up all the time.
yeah, 100%.
It's definitely like an internal battle that I feel like especially a lot of like younger women go through.
Yes, absolutely. So that was really cool to see connect, and yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So, kind of piggybacking off of that, what's a song you almost didn't release and why? You said that you were a little bit skeptical about Girl in the China Shop. Is there any other ones that you almost didn't
Yes.
release?
The one that I literally like contacted my distribution and was like, we can't release this. And then they were like, okay, it's up to you. And then I was like, oh, fine, okay, I'll release it. It's Not Used to You. It's like a very heavy rock song. And my initial fear with that song was coming across like, I'm not used to you. I'm sorry. I'm used by you. That was a slip about something that's coming out later. But my bad. Uh, Used by You. Um, I almost didn't put that song out because it's about a little bit vulnerable, like maybe not portraying myself in the best light of like I'd rather be used by this person than lose them. Um, but I think it was important in hindsight to put it out because it was an honest and real feeling. And that was another example of a song that like online reacted pretty well. And people being like, I'm so glad you actually articulated this feeling. But I was just a little bit nervous about it coming across like, I don't know, people are gonna be like, wow, she's a loser. But yeah, I almost didn't put that song out.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like, especially when you're being so vulnerable, especially in a sense like that. I feel like that's always could be like a scary experience, especially because I feel like that specific feeling is very like anxious attachment driven.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like the people that get it for sure. And the other people are like, I could see that. But so
yeah.
like I definitely understand how that could be a little nerve-wracking because it's like you know that the people that have felt it are 100% going to be like, yes.
And everyone
But
else is gonna
then
be like,
other people might be like, oh,
get
she's
help.
kind
Yeah.
of
So,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Go to
So
therapy, girlfriend.
yeah,
So,
for
yeah.
sure.
So how has your mindset or your view around creating music and the industry itself changed since you started making music when you were 13?
I think the I'm 24 now. In the past decade and a year, the music industry has changed so rapidly and in such ways that no one could have ever predicted. And I think for the most part, I've learned that the initial like love for it all and the writing and why I started at 13 is the most important part. Just the writing in my bedroom, initial raw feelings, trying to leave those as unfiltered as possible. To me, that has been the tried and true, this always works. And so that's always my goal, is just as an expressive art form. But then it's easy to get sucked into like, okay, how would this react on this social media platform? Or how could I market myself better? Like I can't dance. I don't know how to do like hot girl dancing. I don't know what to do. And it's you hear a lot, at least I've heard, what's your thing? Like what's your niche? And I think the industry definitely wants to like point you as like, you're this girl or you're that girl. When my brand at least is, I don't know who I am, like I am trying to figure that out. That's why I'm writing music in the first place. And so with every ebb and flow, obviously there have been times where I've tried to lean more this way or lean more the other, but it's just been going back to why I started. And for me, that's just because I love writing music.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. The industry definitely has changed a lot, I
Mhm.
feel like, especially with social media. It's a lot easier and also insanely more difficult to get your music out there, I
Yeah,
feel like. I
it
feel
is.
like it's easier in the sense that you can find kind of like you said, like your niche a lot
Mhm.
easier. But when it comes to, those kind of more professional things as far as like record labels and things
Mhm.
like that, I feel like there's just so much content on the internet that I mean, it's probably pretty hard for them to narrow it down and be like, okay, who do we want to reach out to and things of that
Yeah,
nature.
for sure. For sure.
So we just came up on a new year. Happy
Happy
2026.
2026.
What would you say your biggest goals for this year are?
Biggest goals for me this year are to go on another tour. I think that was a really incredible experience. I didn't do any touring last year, but I've been working on a lot of new music. And so my goals alongside that tour would be to release another project, which is going to happen. So already got those working. And I think my other goals for this year is just to connect with more people in person. Like you said, like social media has made it so easy to find new people who might like your music and get your music heard out there. But I think it's made it harder to like one-on-one connect with people at times. And so my goal is just in any opportunity I can, make sure that I'm really connecting with every person who listens to my music and reaches out, whether that's, just DMing or hanging out after a concert or something like that. That's been a big goal for me.
Yeah, I think those like fan artist interactions are always really important too. For the artists as well as the fans. I know that like personally from a fan standpoint, I can definitely say that like after a show when the artists come out and they'll hang
Mhm.
out with you and they'll chit chat, like that's probably the thing that I look forward to most.
Same.
Um, like especially with um, like the first artist I ever waited for was the band Camino when I first saw
Nice.
them in Royal Oak a couple years ago. And I remember like Spencer came out and he was so sweet.
Yeah,
And I was so nervous.
that's
And, just like, I was like, oh my gosh, like these people are so nice and so cool. And then I said hi to like Jeffrey and Garrison.
yeah,
And it's just like such a special experience. And then when you keep going back to those shows and they keep coming out and seeing you, and it's
yeah,
like, oh, hey, Jess, how you been? And
yeah.
it's like, oh my
It's building
gosh.
friendships with these people. That's all it is. It is just building like a bunch of friends, and that's what I want to do more of is just be able to do that in person.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely something that's very, very special for
Hmm.
sure. What's a random fact about you your fans probably don't know that you'd be okay with telling them?
I have been thinking, and I think my uh best one is sadly that I won the fastest typing award in fifth grade, and I got a little trophy. But I can't type that fast anymore because at the end of the day, who's really typing? I can type on my phone really fast now, but I lost that skill. But in fifth grade, I was fastest, words per minute. So
Did you go on like the monkey type website? I think that's what it's
we
called.
used Mavis Beacon, but did you have like the like orange cover that covered the keys or the cover that covered up the keys so you couldn't see what you were looking at?
I can't remember. I did have to take in elementary school kind of this like typing course. We did it in computer lab. They
Oh yeah.
didn't cover our or they didn't cover our keyboards with like a plastic cover or anything like
Mhm.
that, but we had to put like a piece of construction paper on top of our hands and it
Nice.
was so annoying because it would
That's
always
difficult
fall
level like
off.
15. That's hard to just
I
type over a
know.
piece of paper.
Well, and then like the person that taught like the computer lab or whatever was like, "Oh yeah, and it'll help because then you're not like moving your hands around as much either. You're just moving your fingers."
I guess.
And
You
I'm like,
must be like baddie at typing then. If
"No."
you had expert level hard. I feel like mine was not that hard.
We had this like computer app game that was like I can't remember what it's called to save my life, but it was like these different like barnyard animals
Oh hell yeah.
and like stories and stuff. I grew up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Go.
Like
Yeah.
I lived in the middle of God knows where.
That's awesome. They're like
But
real life skill. Like let's match with the surroundings. That's cool.
yeah, I remember
Um,
that like it'd be like this chicken telling a story, and it's like, here's the rest of the story. Can you type it out? And then they'd like talk as you were typing. So if you're if you typed really slow,
we
the like
talk slow.
the phonetics would just be like so
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I feel like that would be actually pretty effective, to be honest. That's
yeah, well, and then like you're trying to like put together this like story or whatever, and it gives you a story recap at the end. And so it
oh.
tells you the whole thing, but based on how fast you were typing.
Wow. That's insane.
So it was really, really cool. I cannot remember what it was called for the life of
I
me.
wish
I
we had
tried to
that
look like
program.
years ago, but
Yeah. Did you ever play cool math games?
oh my gosh, I loved cool math games.
I just got onto cool math games. My roommates and I were having a girls' night the other night, and that's what we do apparently at 24 is play Papa's Pizzeria.
Oh my
But
gosh, I love that.
I was stressed. It was my first time ever seeing it, and like I was like, "Oh my God, like we're not gonna fulfill these orders in time." It was stressful, but I wish we'd played that more in fifth grade too. So
Yeah, I played a lot of cool math games in like middle school.
yeah,
It was always like Papa's Pizzeria or Papa's Freezeria too is a really good one.
yes.
It's
And
like
now
the
that you
ice
know they have
cream
a
shop.
Papa's like pancakeria now too.
No.
They've really leveled up. It's
Oh my
gotten
gosh. I know that there's like 15 of them. It's
it's
insane.
it gets stressful, honestly. So I mean, gotta
Yeah,
it's good to revisit those things.
I played that a lot, and then I was really into like the puzzle games. So like Shaun the Sheep, I played a
Yes, yes.
ton, and then
Yeah.
like Block Sorg. I didn't play that on Cool Math Games, but I played it on Mini Clip.
Did you play the one with the little bird that like flew in the sky and you had to like train him to do stuff?
Oh yeah,
And you
the
could
and
buy him
he'd
a
like
top
go
hat.
over the like hills or whatever.
Yeah, and it was like water. It was like a triathlon for this little bird, and you had to like
Yeah.
get coins, and then at a certain point you could buy him a little fedora. That's what we played the other night too. Sorry to go on this tangent of
Oh
cool
no,
math games,
you're
but
so good. Yeah, no, that game's really funny. The little I wish I could be as good as triathlons as that
I
little yellow
know.
bird
Me
is.
too.
So going back to kind of music and the
Yeah.
industry and whatnot, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start making music but doesn't really know where to start?
The advice I give to anyone who wants to start making music is just whatever you naturally feel inclined to do. Whether you love guitar and you love making guitar melodies, or you love writing, or you love playing piano, whatever that is, just sit down and do it like all day long and find what your voice is in that styling, whether it's writing or whether it's guitar. Like find your. I think that's like the way I've learned the most about myself is sitting down, and for me it is words, like just writing and seeing what that internal monologue is. And I think that that is what, I mean, I know it's what always will make you stand out the most in any room. It's not like the accolades under your belt or the people you know. It's just what you what makes you special is what you're just naturally inclined and good at doing. So I say just start doing it. That's like always the first step. And sometimes it's actually the hardest because it's a little bit daunting and a little bit terrifying to share those parts of yourself.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's like two kind of caveats to making music where it's like you have to kind of get into the swing of like, okay, like writing and
Mhm.
having those like the flow and the ideas and like reaching that like flow state.
Yeah, flow state.
Um,
Yeah.
and then I think that there's also like, I think it's interesting because you and Addison's responses were a little bit different in the sense he's like, yeah, pick up an instrument, write a melody, and then everything will come after that. Like
Yeah,
figure out your words later.
I
And I
think
feel
it very
like,
depends on the artist because I'm very the
right.
opposite. I'm always like words first, everything else later. It's cool to see like the different way people's brains work in that.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Is it's like, okay, now we got advice from each side of the spectrum.
So in case
So
you're worried, really the answer is you can do whatever you want as long as you just start doing something. I think, so
yeah, and I think the starting out is the scariest part for sure.
totally, totally.
So you've released quite a bit of music recently.
Yes.
I believe there's been two EPs.
Yes, two EPs in the past couple years, which has been crazy, but they've been really fun. They've been my favorite projects that I've done for sure.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience, recording those, how you feel about the studios, things of
Yeah,
that
so
nature?
I'm obsessed with projects. Like I know we live in a very single focused world right now, and I totally get that. But I just love the storytelling aspect of having a full cohesive start to finish project. And my first EP, Brief Epic, I it was my first heartbreak, and I really took that and boy did I run with it. And I just kind of created this world very like Greek tragedy inspired. And yeah, I hold that project really dearly to me because it was my first experience writing with different people around Nashville, but kind of having the same cohesive theme in mind of what I wanted to say. And I think it's really cool how all of those songs are different and recorded in different places. Some of them are recorded in my friend's bedroom, and some of them are recorded in nicer studios, but they all kind of evoke the same emotion. And for my second EP, How the Good Girls Die, that was kind of just it was more of an experimental EP, I guess I'd say, in that I think your early 20s are very full of extremes, is how I would say, emotionally and just life changes. And that EP is full of extremes too. Like you've got songs like the opening track, Body Bag, which is like super intense and upbeat and frenetic. And then you've got like rock bottom, low, like acoustic songs, and that's how a lot of my 20s have felt. And yeah, writing with the collaborators I write a lot with now on that project was also really really special. So yeah, I loved those projects.
Yeah, I think it's really cool how you talk about your most recent EP and how saying that it's like very experimental as in like how you feel about being in your 20s. Because I mean, like I'm recently in my 20s. I just turned
Go.
21 a month
Hey,
ago.
happy birthday. That's awesome.
Thank you. Finally an official like adult. It's
21
kind of
is the
crazy.
official adult year. Like,
That's how I feel.
why
It's
is
like
America
you
lying to us and saying, like, you're an adult at 18, but I mean, 21. All right, let's be for real.
right.
But I don't know.
But yeah, I definitely can completely understand how you feel like 20s will have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I've definitely in the last, year and a month
Mhm.
have had some of my best and worst experiences of my whole life. And it's
It's
kind of
crazy
crazy
how
how
that
that
happens.
works.
It really truly is. And you have some friends who are like, I'm becoming a doctor and getting married. And then you have some friends who are like, let's go. Like you just live between these two worlds of like, you're supposed to be an adult, but you don't feel like one yet. And you're just figuring everything out for what it feels like the first time. At least it did for me. So,
Right. And when you've turned freshly 20, you're coming out of the hell that is being 19 years old.
dude, 19 is a weird liminal state of being. It's like, I don't even know I don't even remember being 19, to be honest with you. I think I blocked it out. So I don't know.
Trauma blocking,
Yeah,
honestly.
I did.
It's
I
like
did.
the worst year of life, I
Oh,
feel
it's
like.
weird. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think that, experimental stuff like that is always really, really interesting because I feel like it tells a much bigger story than a lot of people look into. And I'm personally just really into that kind of stuff.
Hey,
So
I love making non-commercially viable music. I always tell my manager that. I'm like, I love making music that will never be on the radio. It's awesome.
hey, you
But
never know.
you never know.
Sometimes I hear stuff on the radio and I wish it was something else. So
Right. I know. He doesn't like that joke, but I think it's funny because
I thought it was funny. You have a show coming up pretty soon. Your first headline in Nashville, I
yes, I
believe.
do. Yes, it's my very first one.
How do you
So
feel about it?
I'm very excited. It's at the end, which I feel like you've been to the end.
Oh my
It's
gosh, I love
kind of
it.
like it's small and grungy, but all of these like iconic bands have played there, and it's kind of become like the debut for people's first Nashville headline, especially for people who are Nashville locals. And so it was always like really important to me. Like I was like, I want to wait until I know I'm ready, and I think I can put on the best show I can and have the best music I can to go alongside of it. Um, and yeah, Cam Becker and Valerie's are opening, and they're some of my really good friends, and they're awesome. It's also Cam's first live show playing for his artist project, so I'm very excited for that. Um, and yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be March 13th, and we've got a lot of fun surprises planned that I've not totally announced yet, but they're yeah. I kind of let it slip a little bit earlier, but yeah,
Hey, it happens.
it happens. What can I do? But
Now you got to tell everybody to listen to the podcast for a special surprise.
I know, right? I know. So
Yeah, I really I was talking to Kenna the other
mhm.
day, and I'm coming to Nashville for my spring break, like I mentioned earlier. It's the first week in March, and she's like,
Nice.
"Stay a little longer, like just a little bit. It's like you
No,
can
I
come
know
party."
it's so I thought about it when the date had to be moved. I was like, wait, that is like spring break era, but weirdly enough, like everyone's spring break is like staggered by the few weeks. So I'm like, either that's really good or really bad. So I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
know. I know out of basically like all the people I know that are in college, it's everybody either has spring break the week that I do or the week after.
Yeah. So
So,
it's weird. But I'm glad you'll at least so you will be here on
yeah.
that's exciting. Oh my gosh, we have to meet up. We all of us we can hang. We can do something.
Yeah, I'll be here. Me and Kenna planned a little side trip to Pensacola,
She was
Florida.
telling me that
Oh my
yesterday.
God, I
Uh,
was so tired. It was like 11 o'clock at night. She's like, "Did you know that Harry Styles is releasing a song at midnight?" And I was like, I thought that because it said like on the announcement, like 10 p.m. PST, but then the album was released or like announced at 10 a.m. PST. And she's like, "I think he's dropping a song. You have to stay up."
you have to
And
stay
then
up.
so
Yeah.
I stayed up until midnight EST. But then she's like, "Oh
No.
no, it's midnight my time." And I'm like, "No, I'm going to bed." But while she was gaslighting me into staying awake, we decided to plan a little 3-day side trip to Pensacola
That'll
because
be
it's
so
6 hours from
fun.
Nashville.
Oh my gosh, that you are gonna be dry. Are you driving to Nashville and then driving to Pensacola?
No, I'm flying to
Okay,
Nashville, and
that's good.
then I think me and Ken are just going to take turns driving to Pensacola
Nice.
because
That'll be
I
very
can
fun.
sleep all day and I think she has to work. So,
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be fun.
but when we get back, We can
when we get
party it
back,
up.
we'll get coffee. We'll do the thing.
If you know of any
I
good
was
line dancing bars, I would love to go to one.
this is did Kenna tell you that this what I said yesterday?
No.
We were at Target and I was like, do you want to go line dancing with me and my friends? Because I'm a terrible line dancer. And
I
she was
went
like,
last night for the first time and it was so fun.
it's so fun, but I'm so bad at it. So I just kind of go out there and make a fool of myself and hang out. But we got to go. It's called the Palace in Nashville. We're going. It's going to be great. It's going to be
Okay,
okay.
yes.
Sorry, we're going.
Friday
Or Kenna,
night.
by the way,
My
we're making these plans on the
yeah.
podcast. So
She'll listen to it and she'll figure it out.
yeah,
I don't She's
that's so
just
funny.
along for the ride. Yeah, my flight leaves Saturday at 6 a.m. So honestly, we can go line dancing Friday night and I'll just
We'll go
do a little flight bender.
all nighter, all nighter.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
No, that's I'm so glad that you said that because that sounds
That's
so
actually
fun.
hilarious because I said it to
Yeah.
Kenna and I was like nervous to say it. I was like, what if she doesn't like line dancing? But
I just think it's so cool.
it is cool, and my roommates are pretty good at it. So I'm bringing them, and we're gonna yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
good.
we can do a little girls' night, party it
Girls'
up.
night,
It's
yeah,
gonna be so fun.
that will be
Oh
fun.
my gosh. Okay, I'm so excited. Wow. Just casually making
I
plans
know.
without
Sorry to
everybody
everyone
else.
listening. You guys, well, this will be after, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is what we're doing in a couple of Fridays. So
Yeah. So I think that's all I have for
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to promote? Where can people find and support you? Things of that nature.
Yeah, I figured since I have already let it slip a little bit, this is not the full surprise, but I do have a song coming out January 30th. So maybe I don't know when this podcast comes out, but it's coming out soon. And it's another single off of what will be something else.
Ooh.
So excited for that. And so look out for that pre-save link. And then you can find me just on all social media platforms, Caroline Romano Music, because sometimes Caroline Romano was taken. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, this will probably be coming out on the 30th.
Dab.
So
That's what I've been
yeah.
doing lately is audibly
Go
dabbing.
listen to her new song.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's actually so funny and I've been made fun of it for it several times, but everybody's like, "Oh my God, 2016 is like the new or 2026 the new is
It was
2016." And like
2016.
I love that trend, but I
Mhm.
just unironically started saying poggers to people again.
Oh, we're going back. We're going back. You said we're going to commit to
I
this.
was like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go. And like I feel like nobody gets the joke, but I feel like it's so
Find new
funny.
friends. Find new friends because it's funny. I think it is.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah.
But yeah, so if you're listening and it is, January 30th or after, because that's the only
The
time you're
song
going to
is
be
out.
able to listen to this,
Yeah.
go listen to the song.
Yeah.
Go
Heck
play it
yeah.
right now. Yeah, that's super awesome. Also, as far as the podcast goes, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram at Unplugged, period, and period, Unfiltered, because it wouldn't let me use the and sign, and the one with
No.
underscores was taken.
That's the story of our lives though. And that those two periods will become part of the iconic branding. So don't even
Yeah,
worry. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun. I
Thank
can't
you.
believe we casually made line dancing
Yeah,
plans.
I mean, casual podcast things, but it had to
Yeah.
be done. Sadly, this was the time it had to be done.
Yeah.
But no, I'm
No,
excited
no
and
other
I'm
time
serious
for it.
about them. So
No. So that's it.
okay,
I'll bring my damn boots.
bring
We're
your boots,
going.
girl. I don't even have boots. I got to get boots in time
Oh
before we
my
go.
gosh. My dad used to live in Colorado. I'm like, I need boots. I bought
That's
them.
that's nice. I normally take
We
my
can
friends to, like
we
Converse.
can go shopping too.
We'll go shopping. We'll hit the Opry Mills Mall by there, and then we'll go to the Palace after that night. So it'll be a good time.
I love you. Oh
Yeah.
my
Sorry,
God.
guys. We have a little weekend. So
Yeah,
see you
party
then.
it up. No, just a silly little. Oh my God,
Huge
that's so
thanks to
fun.
Caroline
Anyways,
for being
thank you
on
so
this
much
episode. It
for
was
Good.
super
being on the
fun to get
podcast.
to talk to her and
Yes,
ask
thanks
her
for
some
This
having me.
was
questions.
so awesome. So
Yes,
Recording
yeah,
thanks
this
for
with
having me.
her
This
was a
was dope.
blast, so I hope you
Yeah,
guys
I'm
really
excited for it to be
enjoyed
out,
it. And
and it
also,
was so
big
nice to
thanks to you
officially
guys
meet
for
you.
listening.
yeah, you
This
too.
wouldn't be possible
Awesome.
without the support of the artists as well as the listeners. So I really appreciate that. Make sure you check out Caroline on social media and streaming platforms at Caroline Romano or at Caroline Romano Music. And make sure you check us out as well and keep up to date what's going on at Unplugged, period, and period, Unfiltered. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify podcasts. I got a lot of cool artists lined up. Episodes coming out bi-weekly, so stay tuned for that. I'm super excited. Thank you all so much for being here. It was a great episode, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.